We'll get started, and we'll start first with Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Mecole, hope you're well. I have two quick questions. Yeah, I have two questions here for you. How's the workout going down there in Texas with Patrick and some of the new receivers that you're getting to know?
It's going good. Just, basic terminology, just, getting our feet wet, knocking the rust off a little bit and get some timing down and, trying to get prepared before we get the OTAs.
And I know, like last year, I'm going to point to last year. You pointed out a couple of times that it was sometimes it was tough to eat when you're playing alongside two All-Pros with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. How much does your mindset and your approach now change after the Tyreek Hill trade, knowing that a lot of Hill's targets start coming your way?
Basically, I think it's just being prepared for the opportunity, just, working. So, because, I think we're going to have an offense where we're going to spread the ball a lot, around a lot. So I think it's just more so being prepared for whenever those, targets or whatever come your way, and just be the best way prepared you can. And just go out there and with the mindset of, stepping up and trying to fill a role, and just trying to keep that mindset like that and just be ready.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Mecole, with Tyreek being gone and Pringle being gone and Demarcus Robinson being gone, how do you see your role changing here this year? And Brad will have a second question as well.
Honestly, I don't know. I think I can figure it out when we get back to the OTAs and training camp and to see the plan that the coaches have and their plan for me and see how that goes. But ultimately, I think it's just another opportunity, like I just said, to be prepared for and be able to take advantage of, and when that opportunity comes, you just got to be ready for it. So,
okay. And what are your expectations for yourself this season?
Be better than I was last year, honestly. That's what I can say. Like I said, it's a winning generation type of player, has left a team. So, somebody got to step up and fill a role, or, most of us got to step up and try to, fill that void. So, but for myself personally, man, I just want to be better than I was last year. Get better as an overall receiver and kind of establish my name a little bit more. Catching the ball, running routes, yards after catch, everything, trying to improve on it and just get better.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Mecole, I have a follow-up to Herbie's notion about the eating with Kelce and Hill. At the moment that you start to find out that this Hill trade is going to happen, is there like a bittersweet aspect to it? I know you guys were very close and it was a big part of the offense, but finally maybe there was a feeling that, okay, this is finally the year I've been and the opportunity that I've been waiting for, in a sense.
I wouldn't say bittersweet. I think ultimately I would love for him to be back on the team. Like, somebody like that you would want on your team. He bring a lot, to the game, and a lot the defense got to prepare for. So I think there's definitely a hit for sure, but for the rest of your question, I wouldn't say it's like the time I've been waiting for. Is more so is the opportunity is bigger, if that makes sense. Like that's the word I'm gonna say, is the opportunity is bigger. But they're just up to the coaches and the coaching staff to really see how they want to use me in that role, or how they want to use me this year. And but it's up to me to be prepared for that and just get better each and every day. And so however they want to do everything, and I'll be ready for it. So
let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
I have a two-parter here, and I kind of want to hit on what everybody else is asking. In the era of Travis Hill and yourself, did you ever feel like the odd man out? We've been kind of seeing some tweets from you, maybe kind of feeling like that way. Did you ever feel that way?
The odd man out? No, I mean, if whoever you are, man, with Trav and Tyreek, man, they're gonna talk about them. They 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? And even with Pat quarterback, that's 3. So it's like, you got these 3-headed monsters that's going to be talked about regardless. I think it's just more so of, I don't know, that odd man out got me thinking that. But I don't feel like an odd man out now. I think I progressed like I supposed to. I played like I supposed to, and I took advantage of whenever I got my chance, even with everybody around. So I don't think I was the odd man out. I think I did what I supposed to do, and everybody knew I, did it, but I should have did, so.
And obviously you finished last year very strong. And Andy Reid kind of talked about kind of molding what you do well with kind of the play calling. Was there a moment in time in which they sat you down and kind of had that discussion, or was it kind of a process throughout the whole year?
I just progress out throughout the whole year. Just, I think things at the end of the year kind of clicked, and, we started, doing different things to open more doors up for me, myself personally. And at the same time, still, calling the plays that we needed to call to get the main guys open. So basically just one of those things that happen where we kind of figure out like what we should do when it comes to me, as far as like, what time to give me a jet sweep, what time to give me a screen, or when to come to me in certain situations. So I think we just had a good dress of filling that out, and coming into this year, I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to do something similar as how we was at the end of the year. So
let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go, Nate.
Hello, Mecole. I have two as well. Just, you've been the most experienced guy right now who has worked with Pat over the last, now going into 4 years. Just, have you noticed anything in these early workouts that sort of continue to show your connection with him, especially with given the opportunity?
I think the connection gonna grow as we get through training camp and starting to build that bond and that connection. So but we already got a connection for sure over these past 3 years. And like I said, just gonna get better as it goes. So coming into maybe another role that I might get into. What I'm saying, like, it just depends on how everything goes. And so my job is just to be in the right spot at all times, and just be. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Try to be in the best spot at all times. So yeah, I think the connection definitely gonna get better as it goes.
And my second question was, this is the first time, I'm sure you've watched them on film and watched them and admired them from afar, but this is your first time being with MVS, being with Juju. Just what have those workouts been like, and just what have you gotten to know more about them, obviously being in person during these training sessions?
Oh yeah, my cuz MVS, that boy fast. I didn't know he was that fast. He's definitely moving. A bigger receiver, taller receiver that got some speed on him. I think it'll be very beneficial to our offense for sure. Juju, I think Juju is Juju. I don't think we haven't worked out yet. I think he's been doing things, but he should be back this week, I believe. But I know he's a good receiver. He kind of a bigger receiver. They can go in there, be a great blocker that can get intermediate routes, those short routes, and do what he's supposed to do. So I think it's a great combination for all three of us, honestly. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they go through training camp and adjust to the offense and get the playbook down. I think once they finally get the playbook and how we run things and how everything goes, I think they're gonna come into their own for sure.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Matt, Derek, and then Steve Walls. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Mecole, always appreciate your time, man. Andy was talking to us earlier about, that he's seen a lot of guys have big seasons in their contract year. And obviously that last year, your rookie deal is always a big, big moment for a guy in a player's career. To you, do you feel that? Do you feel like you're getting a little bit of juice knowing that this is a contract season for you and that there's big opportunities ahead for you to have a big season?
Yeah, I definitely want to have one of my best seasons for sure, especially in the contract year. That's definitely a thought that goes through your head. But I think, honestly, you really can't just look too far in the future. I think that's kind of like that you can mess up is looking too far in the future and thinking like, I want to have this, I want to have that. But more so just take it one day at a time and let everything unfold like it's supposed to. But it's definitely something on my mind of having a big year for sure.
Let's go ask Steve Walls. Good, Steve.
Mecole, what's happening, brother? How you doing?
It's good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Patrick said something that was kind of interesting earlier when he talked about when one of the videos that he posted that you weren't there at the workout and it's kind of blown out of proportion. Do you feel that way when you hear stuff like that? If people are just like, oh, well, he should be there working out with Patrick, and of course you were there, but do you feel that way? I know that's what he had said earlier, and I have a
yeah, it's definitely blown out of proportion for sure. I don't know sometimes what people be thinking. I've been working out the whole offseason. Not to mention like when we go to OTA's training camp, I'm gonna have 4 months with Pat to throw. I think honestly they gotta understand that people have individual lives as well. I'm saying, like, you can't just be. I can't be on Pat ass all day. I'm saying, like, it's just not gonna happen. But obviously the week before I got there, they had already had some earlier workouts, and which I was already planning to be there next week. So, which they probably wouldn't even know about that. But so definitely, I got it next weekend. Gonna be out there to continue the 2 weeks before we go to OTAs and be out there. So.
And this is the longest offseason that you've ever been a part of since being in the league, man. What are some of the things that you're trying to work on? You know, I know you're down at House of Athlete. How much are you working on? What are you working on exactly down there? And then how much are you, getting games from guys like Brandon Marshall and Jarvis Landry and those guys?
Just basically trying to get stronger and faster, more explosive. How I kind of go through the offseason, the first part, I just want to focus on those first 3 things. Not really focus on football at all. Like, I don't want to think about football because you did it for like 6-7 months. So, but then afterwards you get all that done, and then when you finally get to like, the OTA phase period, it's kind of like starting to get better on, top of releases, top of your routes and stuff like that, and just kind of like slowly work your way back into the grind. You don't want to like try to kill yourself too fast. I think rest is important, and so that's kind of how I go. Like, make sure I'm taking care of my body, but also like trying to just, fine tune the little things, the basic things, the fundamentals of, my game, and then just, slowly progress into like, OTAs and training camp.
Mecole, we appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, like